All right, boys and girls, welcome back. The right side of Kentucky sports took a week off last week, but we are back. We're going to catch up a little bit from who do we have? Eastern Michigan. Me and Anthony went to the game, got a win for our team, and we left the stadium still pissed off. Don't bet on your team, especially when they got a big spread on your team when they're catching points.
Or money line, dude.
Yeah, and money line it. You're right, because your team should not be up 20-something points and you're in the stadium pissed off. But that's kind of where we found ourselves late in the game.
That's what game one does.
Anthony is yelling at Mark Stoops, basically not loud enough where Stoops could hear, but
I was trying.
It was fun.
I was trying my ass off.
I wish you would have heard it.
I wish I would have recorded it. But yeah, Stoops with some bullshit at the end, and we do not cover, what was it, 25, 26?
Fourth and goal, last play of the game.
25 and a half or something.
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks. We've slept.
But you know what? He got those guys some good reps, he said. So you need those guys needed some reps.
That pissed Anthony off. He's I got my guys some reps.
I know he said we didn't want to give it up, but we gave it up. Dude, that team knew the point spread. They were trying like hell to score at the end, dude. It was fourth and goal.
But it was the start of the Cutter Boley era, and he played pretty good.
Yeah.
Made a lot of different throws, looked comfortable in the pocket again after we saw him the week before for a little bit there at the end of the game. And I think it's the Cutter Boley era. Do y'all agree? I mean, They can't go back.
No, we can't go back to Calzada. I mean, we have to stick with Cutter Boley.
Yeah.
He gives you a chance at the long ball, and even if you don't complete it, it loosens the defense up. When teams are able to creep up on you because they don't respect your passing game, it makes the running. Look, we're a running team. There's no doubt about that. But man, if they can just get the sorry guys, when Lamar goes down, I get happy. So I'm sorry.
Lamar got sacked.
Anthony got caught up.
I got caught up. I was like, yes. I lost my train of thought. Cutter throws a nice ball. I do worry sometimes he maybe holds the ball a little bit too long, but he will shoot it downfield on your ass. Cutter likes the long ball.
We use the tight ends too in that game, and we've had good tight ends the last few years, and Vince Marrow, our tight end coach, couldn't get him the ball. I'm glad he's somewhere else.
He wasn't coaching, son.
No, he's over eating popcorn.
We are using the tight ends heavy this year.
Hey, Rodriguez kid.
Yes,
he's great. He comes over at the end of games. He's just really friendly with the fans. A lot of the players are, man. It's a good group. Whether they're good or bad, it's a good group. We seen them offensive linemen. They're big, ain't they, Charlie? That was a big group that walked through there. And there's some big men.
That kid Pete is huge.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, he's a legit 6'7", isn't he?
He's a big dude.
So everybody's been seeing what Mississippi's been doing. I like to think that we played just as good as them. I actually think we outplayed them a little bit. We lost, though, but whatever. But they end up being a really nice team. Maybe we got a nice team.
Ole Miss is favored against LSU this week. So.
Dude, Ole Miss is nice. They rolled Tulane.
Good.
Yeah, nice.
I like our team. I'm still on board with what I said at the beginning of the year. I thought we were going to be better than everybody thought. Everybody was so down. 4.5 wins. Vegas had it at. I made that bet. Over 4.5, I'm feeling good about that.
Yeah, I think it's strong.
We could have easily already had 3. Well, it does look a little tougher with Vandy, but then you got Florida who's not playing good, so I feel like that's a gettable win. And I don't care what anybody says, Louisville is a gettable win every year for us. I know they got us last year pretty good, but
first time in a while.
We've had their number for years. We can beat Louisville. Vandy looks really good.
We still got Tennessee Tech.
So we still got a gimme. Dude, yeah. I'm loving my over 4.5. I really am. And maybe they don't get it.
Schedule gets tough at some point.
I think this week's an important week.
It is. I agree.
You need to steal this one.
If you don't, I still think you got a shot. But
I think this is one you got to get.
And I feel comfortable about this game. Everybody hypes up South Carolina. I feel like every year South Carolina is that team that everybody thinks is going to break out. This is the year, South Carolina this, South Carolina that. We've had their number in past years too. What have they got us the last year or two?
Yeah, they beat us by like 40 last year.
Yeah, but we had their number there for a handful of years.
Yeah, we did.
Their defense was totally different last year. Their defense was nice last year.
I thought their defense was going to be better this year. I thought with Dylan Stewart, that freshman who dominated last year, he doesn't have who was the other defensive end. Now he's seeing the double teams where last year he's getting single coverage coming off the edge.
You couldn't double team nobody on that defense last year. That defense was nasty last year.
But I think they're taking advantage of the weakness in the defense of South Carolina, or the weaker defense.
So I didn't watch any of the South Carolina-Missouri game. How did Sellers look? Because I know he was banged up or questionable, and he ended up playing.
I do think Sellers
he was 18.
Nice game.
He was 18 for 28 for 302 yards and 2 TDs.
That's good in the air. What's his rushing yards?
Negative 28.
That must have got.
That blows my mind because he's such a dynamic runner, dude. Like that's a big part of his.
It must have been some sacks or something. What did he hurt?
Did he not?
It was. They said it was a concussion.
Oh, okay, it was.
But,
that's right.
Did he not?
But then I heard stuff floating around the internet and on the radio that might have been a shoulder. So I don't know.
Maybe
I heard mixed things later in the week.
I could see it
for over 300. It seems like a good game.
Yeah,
I could see it having something to do with something on his body, because, dude, he's a runner. He's a runner first, passer second. It sounds like he didn't even attempt to run. Maybe he didn't want to get hit.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if it was a shoulder, maybe that had something to do with it. If he did have a shoulder injury, maybe that's why he didn't want to run, because you're taking hits on the shoulder. So I don't know. I really don't know about the shoulder situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I just said I heard of it. I just made up a body part there. So.
I like it, Josh. I like it. Man.
I mean, I'm just saying. Someone said it may not have been a concussion. It could have been a body part.
I got you.
And I seen the play. He lowered the shoulder, went in. Hey, it was a shoulder. I talked to the guy after the MRI. They told me it was left shoulder.
This is a big game for Kentucky. I love what Cutter Boley looked like, though. I love that we've got a guy that can throw the ball down the field, and that I feel like the coaching staff actually has a little faith in him to do so. Now, hopefully, when we get in a bigger game like this week at South Carolina, they continue to
Go. Cover it up. Cover it up. He's coming. Cover it up.
Oh, I thought he was going to hack it.
Big run by who's that? Montgomery.
60 yards.
Yeah, it's a big game for Kentucky, I think. Big game for Mark Stoops.
Well, y'all know what Stoops' record is out of a bye, out of an off week.
It is not good.
We know that from last year.
No, what is it?
He is 6-10.
Thought it was worse than that, honestly.
But usually his bye is going out in an SEC game.
Look, he's 5-9 SEC.
Yeah,
6-10 overall.
Look, we need some SEC wins, dude.
Yeah.
Our SEC record is not good.
They're hard to come by.
Yeah,
for a team like Kentucky.
We got to get more than one.
I agree. There's no doubt about it. I'm telling you, dude. Like, I look at the SEC this year, it's hard.
What are we, 1-9 in our last 10 something? Maybe that's the home games I'm thinking of. I know we haven't won a home SEC game in a long time.
Right, yeah. 10 or 12 in a row.
Yeah, this is, South Carolina's a team that if we want to be on the next, if you want to break the SEC down in tiers, I guess, if you want to be in that constantly in that somewhere in that middle tier, you have to be able to beat teams like South Carolina.
Tough place to play. I will say that as a very.
It ain't as tough as Georgia and Alabama or Texas A&M or Oklahoma.
Some people say it is. Some people say it is. Is it a night game or a day game?
It's at 7:45 Saturday night.
That's. Do you agree? If you want to be at least in that second tier or not the bottom tier of the SEC,
there's no doubt.
These are the teams that you got to beat. Vandy and South Carolina.
I don't think Vandy and South Carolina is bad no more.
I'm not saying they're bad. But they are the bottom tier of the SEC, along with Kentucky, unfortunately. So if you want to get out of that for more than just 1 year, I think you got to get back in the rhythm of beating those teams. And we've done that before. I feel like we had South Carolina's number for a handful of years before just these last couple of years where they've got us. But
look at these rushing stats for South Carolina against Missouri.
Well,
they had 22 carries for -9 yards as a team. Their leading rusher had 7 yards. The one guy had 6 attempts, Faison, had 6 carries for 5 yards. His long of 2.
They had negative total
rushing yards.
Maybe
-9.
Maybe Missouri played them to take the run game away, and
I'd like to see how that happened because that's pretty rough. Negative rushing yards for the game.
Hey, I'm liking the Cats now. You know how many rushing yards Missouri had? 285.
South Carolina had 308.
Cat's big. Yeah. Cat's big. Give me the growl. Give me the. But I like that. I mean,
it's going to be 4th.
So Missouri ran for how many yards on South Carolina?
48 carries, 285 yards.
Stoops is loving that, dude.
I know.
Seth McGowan is going to eat them alive. What time we play? 7:30, 7:45?
7:45.
I like us to go in and win this game. I do. I'm with you on it. Give me the cat growl again, Anthony. I love it.
Just seeing those stats really makes me think if we can keep Sellers inside the pocket and hold him to negative 28 yards like Missouri did, I think the Cats have a shot.
If we could hold him to 28 yards.
Ain't Sellers
ain't
a
gotta be
jockey?
negative.
Ain't like a jockey, Shane Sellers? Remember Shane Sellers?
Shane Sellers was a jockey.
Yeah, a jockey. It ain't no quarterback. Sellers.
Here's the main thing that I worry about with Cutter Boley. I think Mark Stoops' tenure here at Kentucky is kind of riding on Cutter Boley, as weird as that sounds. But I could also say that I think maybe Cutter Boley's career here at Kentucky might rely a little bit on Mark Stoops. Hear me out. If something doesn't work out this year, and let's say Boley plays pretty good, but the Cats only win 4-5 games, Stoops gets fired at the end of the year. New coach comes in. Now, that new coach is going to have a decision to make. Unless Cutter Boley is an absolute stud, and if we only win 4 or 5 games, he's probably not an absolute stud. Does the new coach come in and even keep Cutter Boley, or do they recruit over Cutter Boley? So I don't know. I think Stoops and Cutter Boley are really relying on each other right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing that wrong, but I worry about Boley, his future at Kentucky, if Stoops isn't here.
To me, it's going to come down to how he does, and we're going to see how good he is because he's got a good offensive line. We're going to find out what Cutter is. And
but let's just say he's middle of the road.
I think you keep him, because I
think
you
keep him. But does the new coach recruit over him? Does he try to get?
I don't think so.
His own quarterback.
I showed y'all that picture. Cutter grew up a Kentucky fan, going to Kentucky.
Well, I don't think Cutter would leave, but I think he could get recruited over.
New coach, new system.
Maybe just wants his own quarterback. Maybe he comes from a school. Maybe he comes from Indiana, and Indiana wants to bring. And Cignetti wants to bring. His
I'll be honest with you.
I'm just saying
there's 2 Mendozas on that team.
They could easily want to bring their own. We've seen it. Who was it we talked about? Started at Holy Cross and ended up. What was that? The quarterback that played against Louisville. He bounced from Holy Cross and now he came back to play. He's at James Madison now with his old coach. I think stuff like that.
We got Mitch Barnhart as our athletic director. It might be part of the deal he makes with them. Mitch is built different, dude.
I'm just saying.
I get your angle. I get it. I think it's a fair angle. I think it's a very fair
angle. If Cutter's really good, we hopefully we win a few more games and Stoops is still here, because I do think that's a good possibility. I honestly do. I know everybody thought that coming into this year, I bet you if you ask the majority of Kentucky fans if they thought this is the last year Stoops would be here, majority would probably say yeah. I do think there's a good chance that Stoops is still here.
I've heard about it. I don't think his job is in jeopardy as people think it is. Good play.
And if we win 6 games like I think we're going to, I think Stoops will be back. But I was just thinking about that this past weekend, just how much Stoops and Cutter Boley kind of relying on each other right now to be successful, so they can keep this going for another year or two.
Yeah, I don't think he has to win 6 games. I mean, if he wins 5, I think Stoops has a job. This is a tough schedule, a lot of new players. Cutter Boley stepping in now. If they're just competitive, I think we got to beat South Carolina. But if we're competitive against maybe an Auburn, competitive, one of those big games that we got, Tennessee, beat a Florida, play competitive with Florida.
Fans got to be smart. Listen, if you got a great coach lined up, I'm fine with getting rid of him, but don't get rid of him to bring in Summerall. I've never been a fan of that. I'm not saying that.
I agree with that. Most Kentucky fans are calling for him. I'm not saying don't get him.
I'm not saying he's bad.
I would rather have Stoops.
But I don't think there's no upgrade. I've never seen that.
About that.
We could be. Very much could be.
Where's he at? Tulane?
Yeah, Tulane. Yep. Yeah. It's different playing in the – Stoops has said this to a lot of people. You think it's so easy over in this conference. You come give it a try, big boy. You go get you one of those schedules. And it ain't just winning and losses like you're playing a video game. It's keeping your damn morale up when you're going through that schedule. I seen it last year. Guys, we were not as bad as what we were at the end of the year. Our team quit because they were going through that schedule. And I've seen it coaching the blitz, Charlie, where parents would rather they would be happier playing nobodies going 3-0 than playing in a really good tournament going 0-2, but playing damn good baseball in it. I think this weekend was a good example of this weekend. I don't think we played great, but it was a good tournament to shake the rust off from. But everybody's happy because you're winning games. You see what U of L right now. One of our parents' grandfather on the team, he said, we just keep stacking wins. I said, you ain't playing nobody. Talking about U of L. I said, you got to be able to you got to be able look at the difference. And I hope Kentucky fans can do that. You got to be able to have a power ranking. You cannot go by schedules. Schedules are not the same.
Kentucky fans can't do that. At least half of them. We already know how half of them are.
Maybe our athletic director can.
Yeah, well,
we got to show up. I mean, we just got to show up against South Carolina this week. I mean, this is me. I'm sometimes one of those negative fans, but I got to see something against South Carolina this week. And I just by looking what I saw on my phone with those stats, those Russian stats, South Carolina versus what Missouri did.
Missouri's pretty good, though.
They are.
Yeah.
But I like Kentucky's chances this week.
I think they got solid.
And
chance.
I think that the schedule is kind of, some of the teams we thought they were going to be better, like South Carolina and Florida. I was big on South Carolina at the beginning of the year. I really like Sellers, but I think this is a gettable game for Kentucky. If we're not intimidated with the atmosphere and we can run the ball and establish the run and maybe just let Cutter Boley, manage the game a little bit, hit the tight ends on 3rd and 8, I think Kentucky's got a shot.
We got to calm down the rooster. That's we'll hear it all night. Inner Sandman, they do that thing. That's pretty cool. I'll give them that. But a night game at South Carolina is a different monster, guys. That was an awesome play.
Dan Campbell pulls it off.
Dude, he handed it to the fullback and flipped it out of the option to the right, dude. That was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, so we all picking the Cats or what?
Yeah,
I mean, I know we are, right? We're all picking the Cats.
I think this is a very important game. I think hopefully Stoops has got the troops, Stoops troops, rally behind him. Let's get a win in South Carolina. I think it's doable. I don't even know if it's a big win, but I think it's a gettable win.
It is 6.5 point underdog, 2-1 underdog, but whatever. I think we're a little better than what people think. So,
I can tell you one thing is for sure. Mark Stoops, looking at those stats that you just read, he is in there telling his team the same thing. We can get this game. We're going to go in here. We're going to control the line of scrimmage. We're going to pound the rock. I don't think this is a game where he airs it out with Cutter Boley.
He's throwing the ball 15 to 18
We're going to be a running
times.
football team, guys. We're going to be a running, but he's going to loosen it up with that. Yeah.
He let Cutter throw it a little bit downfield last week against Eastern Michigan, but that's a lot different monster than at South Carolina. He'll manage the game like he always does, and that'll be our best chance to win anyways. Going in there and letting Cutter air it all out is probably not our best chance. So pound the rock, especially if they're giving up over 200 yards last week to Missouri.
Almost 250.
Stoops is going to love that stat, and he's going to try to take advantage of it. So I see it just being a prototypical Stoops game.
Yep.
Pound the rock, let the quarterback manage the game, let the defense hopefully make some big-time stops on the road and come out of there with a win. What's the spread in this game?
6.5. Here's the real question. If Virginia Tech continues to have a rough year, do they try to make a move on Beamer? Can they get him from South Carolina and SEC school?
You talking about Virginia Tech hiring him back?
Yeah.
No, hiring his son. Hiring his son.
From South Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that happening.
Yeah. Do you think they could get him from South Carolina? What, SEC school, a little bit more resources?
Well, after Kentucky beats them and they lose about 3 or 4 more
He's
games,
had a good little run here. He's had a good little run.
Fired.
Yeah. Would he take the job, all things being equal?
I think he would.
Do you think so?
I do.
I'm going to say no, but I think you could be right. I think I'd be interested to see. I think it's almost 50-50
story, dude. His dad coached there forever. For him to go, I think he would do that.
There's people that believe you should jump jobs every so many years, anyways, because you almost wear out your welcome.
Virginia Tech's not a bad job.
No, you're nice.
It's really not.
No, it's not. They got resources there.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be interested to know what they're spending on NIL. That's what it'll come down to. No coach is going to leave a program that's spending money right now because it used to be recruiting, and if you had a mouthpiece,
unless they're guaranteed money where they're going. Because why would you leave somewhere that's spending a bunch of money to go somewhere that's not going to spend money?
It used to be if you were a good recruiter, you could overcome everything, but now you got to have the money.
Who's the Cards got this week? Virginia,
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
They're moving on.
4.5 point favorite.
4.5
noon
point
game
favorite.
They had Bowling
the Cards minus 4.5 on the road.
Yep.
At Pittsburgh. Yep. Pittsburgh was supposed to be good. I remember reading about them
before
the year. They had a decent year last year, right?
They had that West Virginia game.
They got a good
and then they lost,
don't they?
Because they were going to – the Pittsburgh-West Virginia game was going to be game day.
That's a rivalry.
But
really?
Pat McAfee went to West Virginia, so I think they were throwing him a bone.
And plus, that's
West Virginia lost to somebody crappy, so they didn't do it, and they went to I can't remember where they went, but that was going to be their game day.
I'd like to go to Morgantown game. They say it's
it's just really hard to get to. They say
it's up in the mountains. Yeah. They say it's up in the mountains.
It's not like you drop off at the Stanford Field and then you got a 15-minute ride to the.
Is this
stadium.
a Saturday game?
Saturday at 12
I don't know why. I don't know why, but
Let's get that Friday feel.
I hear Louisville now, and I almost feel like I think Friday night. They've already had one, and I want to say they got another one. I don't know why they keep putting them on Friday night, but I guess is that a new thing?
They
Maybe
like to
ACC?
compete with high schools.
Yeah,
They
well,
like to
Florida
do that.
State's playing Virginia on this Friday.
Speaking of that, we were going to talk about that in the first half of the show, and I don't even think we mentioned it, but that is a fishy line right there. What is the spread? Only 7 points. Florida State on the road at Virginia -7. Is that
Yep.
what we were talking?
Let's see this.
Dude,
6.5.
That something up. Something
Florida
off with that.
State's still 50-1 to win it all, guys. I don't think everybody's bought on to Florida State yet.
Ranked number 8 at Virginia.
Vegas hasn't figured it out. They've scored 100 points every day.
But we talked about this. Vegas goes by what they just make it where they want betting 50, like public perception. Maybe everybody else's perception ain't high on them. I don't know why, but
something tells me to jump on that right now.
I know.
6.5.
They
Matter of fact, I might actually. I don't do this very often.
They lost to NC State.
yeah,
I don't do this very often, but I might make a bet right now.
I'm with you.
I
I
got
love
my phone
it too,
open
guys.
now.
And these spreads, like the big money guys in Vegas, they'll move the spread on a Monday, so it would have probably already moved. So it's probably not going to have a huge movement. Maybe it does. Maybe it has some late movement, but 6.5 does not seem right. Matter of fact, we've talked about this before, Anthony. Sometimes when it seems like they're begging you to take something, you better stay away from it.
Yeah.
But man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay away from that.
I
6.5.
I'm not.
I just bet it.
You just bet
I
it.
just bet it.
I think I'm taking Florida State too.
I
Did
like
you
it.
bet $1 million on it?
half a
Half a
million.
million.
Half a
I had,
million.
to I had to save the other half. Remember, guys, I'm close to the plasma bank. I'm getting low.
God damn.
I'm getting low here.
Hey,
Speaking of
guys,
$1 million-
please talk to me on that, dude. I have a connection down there. I've been doing it for a long time, dude.
He knows everybody down there.
We'll bring different IDs and stuff. They're not even real
I'll
IDs.
go back to back.
You'll be Julio, Juan, everybody, son. I'm telling you, they'll just keep giving you money.
Speaking of $1 million, final score: Cats and Gamecocks. What's the final score, Anthony?
Kentucky 83, South Carolina 15.
Damn, that ain't shit compared to that Cats by $500,000.
Well,
But
yeah.
80-13, that would be
That's
sweet.
that's
I'll take
a
it.
SEC
take
game. Oh, ball! Get that ball! Get that ball! Get that ball!
They blew the whistle. They blew the
Oh,
whistle.
he wasn't down. He wasn't
They
down,
got
dude.
it.
He
Stopped
wasn't
his
down.
forward progress.
He wasn't down. God,
I heard the
man.
whistle and I got headphones
This
on.
motherfucker,
And we
Lamar's
ain't got the
Lamar's
volume
shot. Lamar's
I heard
supposed to have
the
10
volume-
turnovers today.
it's on mute and I'm wearing headphones and I heard the whistle. That's how long he was standing up,
There ain't
Anthony.
nothing there, dude.
I got something blocking my the score. What is the score?
It's 21
Is it 21 up?
or 21. No,
Dude, that's a fumble, dude. That is a fumble.
they'd already stopped the whistle.
Dude, they
Boom, boom. He took 4 steps. It's blowing the
Dude,
whistle
he's
now. They've
still
blown it
moving.
17 times.
Yeah.
Detroit's up 7.
if he got out, they got a
So,
touchdown. son. He
what's
got
your
fourth
score
quarter.
for UK? There?
Kentucky, South Carolina game. Give me Cats. I think it's probably going to be a low scoring game. Give me Cats 23, Gamecocks 21. 23-21. We're coming out with a win. What you got?
23-17.
23-17. Pretty close. Anthony's got 80-13, I think he
85,
said.
13.
If we could just come away with a win, we're all going to be happy. I don't want to just compete in this game. I want to win this game. Competing against South Carolina is not good enough for me. Maybe competing against Texas or Georgia is good enough and not winning. But the South Carolina game, we need to win this game.
I want to win it. Yep.
All the
Go
way
Big
back.
Blue. Louisville
At Pittsburgh.
at Pitt. What's the
Pittsburgh.
spread in that game?
Pittsburgh.
Louisville 4.5. Minus
Pittsburgh.
4.5.
I'm taking $200.
You taking Pitt?
Pitt.
Give me the home team.
He
I'll
hit
take-
that?
Yeah.
Like he missed
I
I know.
did look like he missed.
So I'll
take
take Louisville. I think this game's going to be closer than that 4 though. I mean, that offensive line for Louisville hasn't looked great. Miller Moss, maybe the worst quarterback Jeff Brom's had in a while.
Is
I mean,
he not playing good?
He's not playing. He reminds me of you know how Milton from Alabama used to just sell stuff over everybody's head last year.
Yeah.
He throws like him sometimes, but he don't run like him. But all right.
All right, Cats win. Cards. We'll see. Josh is picking them, but not me, not Anthony.
Where's that quarterback whisperer at down there? You
I know.
the fucking quarterback
He better
whisperer.
quit
He got a
whispering,
good
start-
group
start
last
yelling
year.
at
All
his
they got. Dude, so overrated, dude. They think he's God around here.
All right, we'll catch y'all next week.
See ya.
Blitz the bookie.